All right, we're live. Hot start to the show.
Hot start. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, welcome into Mostly Hoops. I'm Ohio's Tate. I am joined by Mark Titus. I'm joined by, we're not joined by Dana Beers.
We're not joined by Dana, and I'm going to let you set up the show and all that. I'm just going to say off the top, Dana is becoming our Darren Peterson. Dana is our 5-star recruit that we brought onto the show. We have high hopes for him. I haven't looked at the podcast mock drafts yet, but I think like the Rosillo show, I think has him going. I think he's number 1 on their mock. I think the Rosillo show is going to draft Dana Beers when the draft rolls around in June. He's the number 1 pick. Just can't stay healthy.
Well,
he just can't stay healthy, and we're getting no tape on him. I think the little tape we got showed a lot of promise. I think the scouts are salivating over it. I think someone's in Dana's ear telling him he should opt out of Mostly Hoops. And we're in a little bit of a power struggle right now, so no Dana. But anyway,
well, when you're mocked number 1 overall, why continue to?
Why
play,
continue?
Right?
Yeah,
so it's a fair point. Also, we are joined by White Boy Rick, which has been the hot topic to start the show. White Boy Rick, what time did you arrive this morning?
About 8:57.
About
8:57,
give or take
8:57.
2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's 2 schools of thought there.
Yes.
Show starts at 9, so
Right.
he was on time.
He was on time. Yeah. It's a leadership issue, Tate. It's my fault. It's my fault. We have not actually sat Rick down and said we would like you to be here like 15-ish minutes early so we can talk about flow of shows, so we can talk about topics, so we can, bounce off like which games did you watch, which games did I watch. If none of us watch, say, like Texas Tech, Arkansas, that sucks. We should probably figure that out as a show. Like some of us we should divvy up who watches what games or whatever. But then maybe we won't spend 20 minutes talking about a game no one in the room watched. Do you know what I mean? These were things that I thought were a given. They're not a given, and we'll fix that moving forward.
It has become my favorite part of the show. Is Rick? Rick has never been late. That's a fact. Rick has never.
You've never been late,
but he rolls in at like he does. He rolls in at like 8:58 or whatever, and every time he's like a deer in the headlights. He has no idea that Mark is like, "Where's Rick?"
You and I are like shitting our pants. You and I we sit here, we shit our pants every day before you show up. We're just like, have you heard from Rick? Has anybody heard from him? And then we're like, no.
What do you mean?
We don't know.
The group chat
and then you walk in. I know. That's why.
I said that.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's going to do the show. And then you walk in at 30 seconds before we go live on air.
If we're having a team meeting before practice, we can have the team meeting, but I need to be informed that it's going on.
But this is the generational divide. It's like guys like me. It's that you don't need to have the. Tate, am I wrong? Or is this not like a implied thing? Like.
It was a.
If
practice starts at 2 p.m. at 1:30, the whole team better be out on the court, like getting shots up and like working on some shit.
Rick,
and then coach will show up at 2, and it's game, and when we go. That's how practice operates.
Rick, did you not know that?
No.
And I'm
all right.
Okay.
All right. That's right. And that's my fault. That's my fault.
You guys were showing up here 15 minutes early. I thought you were here a minute or two.
That's my fault. That's what I'm saying. It's a leadership issue. I'm going to do what every college basketball coach does when they're losing games, when they're caught with recruiting violations, really when they're under any sort of scrutiny at all. I'm going to look into the camera, I'm going to face the music, and I'm going to say, I take full responsibility for this, but it's also not my fault at all. It's Rick's fault. But the buck stops here. It is Mostly Hoops with Mark Titus and Co. You guys are the co. I'm me. So if I'm gonna have my name on it, it starts with me. It stops with me. But also, it's Rick's fault.
We're going to learn from this.
We're going to learn from it.
I was under the impression, get here before 9. You want me here at 8:45? I'll be here at 8:45.
All right, we move on.
All right.
Prepared.
Before we get going, we are brought to you by DraftKings today. 40-point quarters, triple doubles, buzzer beaters that shake up the standings. And when stars like Kobe White, Jalen Williams, and Tyler Hero take over, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you want to be. Player props, live bets, same-game parlays. Bet on the biggest moments of this holiday season and the stars that make them unforgettable. Remember, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your play goes down the first period, you still get paid in cash. With DraftKings, you are covered throughout the entire first half. Why bet player props anywhere else? New customers bet just $5. And if that bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Holiday Hoops, limited games, cash in. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code MOSTLYHOOPS. That's code MOSTLYHOOPS. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I just want you to have the ball, Rick. I'm trying to draw plays for you. I want you to be a part of the team. I want you to. You're a starter on my team.
Mm-hmm. I'm here. I'm
you're a starter
up already.
And he has his notebook.
I got my notes.
You're on the fast track to captaincy when you're a senior. You know that, right? Like I think. The assistant coaches and I were talking, and when you're a senior, we'll probably ask you to be a captain.
Yeah.
So you're pre-captain.
It's a fork in the
You're
road.
a pre-captain right now.
Yeah. It's do we want to accept that responsibility and do we want to grow from this? Or do we want to shrink from the moment? I think
that's what I'm asking you.
I'm ready.
And I think one point that needs to be said, like obviously Dana's out today. Who steps up is White Boy Rick, and then when we're sitting around waiting, like who's the person stepping up today? That's when you walked in at 8:58.
You're my Melvin Counsel.
I'm ready to step up.
He's Darren Peterson. He's Darren Peterson. He's going out at NC State. His hamstrings bothering him. You're Melvin Counsel.
Talk about basketball.
That's what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about Melvin Counsel. You're Melvin Counsel.
Okay.
I need 36 out of you today. I need you to take every shot down the stretch.
All right.
When the game is winding down and what would really help is like us chewing clock and like moving the ball around, I want you to hold on to the ball so you can get fouled so you can try to get 40 points and then miss every free throw like Melvin Counsel did at NC State.
All right, let's talk hoops. And I also say this, if you put up a historic performance today, who cares?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you show up and you ball, who cares if you showed up 2 minutes earlier to warm up? So just do that.
That's right. All right,
let's talk hoops. Obviously, we're going to get into the heavy hitters like we have done the whole season with Michigan, Arizona, all that. But I want to start off. We're going to start with Nebraska. They are 11-0 for the first time in program history. Cody, they won on a buzzer beater at Illinois. Can you pull that up? Because the first thing, did you guys hear this call?
Unbelievable call. Unbelievable call.
Hoiberg kicks it out. Lawrence for the win. Got it! And you can tell it was
That's
good
the wrong
right
call.
away.
That was the wrong call.
May not have been the call
Cody,
where
that
he
was the
says
wrong
he's going
call.
to pass out.
That was the wrong call, Cody.
I was waiting for the part
That's the one we sent in the chat, boys.
where he
It's
says
the wrong call, Cody.
Find
the Nebraska radio call, Cody, please. Find the Nebraska radio call for the people.
Are we going to spend 10 minutes bagging on him for
yeah,
All
honestly.
right, start the clock.
Honestly, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Just making sure the
Hoiberg.
accountability is everywhere.
14
It is, yes.
seconds, 13 seconds. Hoiberg across the division line. We got 10, 9. Everybody flat along the baseline except for Sam out into the timeline. 5 seconds to go. Sam drives the ball, kicks it. It is Lawrence, puts it up. God! 2 seconds to go. Inbounds play.
No.
I'm going to pass out.
Actually,
The game is over. Nebraska wins it. Nebraska wins it. Nebraska wins it. Jamarcus Lawrence hits one with 2 seconds, 2/10 of a second to go.
I'm laughing.
I gotta go.
I'm laughing because, and I'm a Cody guy. An honest mistake.
That's what you said in the chat.
He played the other call where the guy was just like, and Nebraska wins the game.
And Nebraska
And then
wins.
this guy's like, oh.
Which, by the way, who was on that call? Was that NBC? Was that Peacock? Bad call.
Yeah.
Bad call. Who was that? Wasn't Fanta, was it? Surely not. Fanta wouldn't do that. That was a bad call from the Peacock guy. Was that heart attack? Was that coming? Was that? Play that again.
Yeah.
Does
At
this
the
sound?
very least, it was heart
Does
palpitation.
this sound like your heart is
I thought it was
stopping,
midsection.
or does it sound like you are
Baseline except for
coming?
Sam out into the timeline. 5 seconds to go. Sam drives the ball, kicks it. It is Lawrence, puts it up. God! 2 seconds to
I think a little bit of both. I think
Wait,
you're nutting so much that your heart is skipping.
drives
I
the
think
ball.
he's
The
terrified
first
of
one
what's
was a
dying.
heart
happening
attack.
to him.
When he gets that third one, that's
I love it, dude. I love shout out the entire state of Nebraska, because the last time we played a call on here, a local radio call, it was the Creighton Baylor call. It was the egregious block call, and the Creighton guys were losing their mind. And I'm going to say now what I said then, which is that these guys are in my perspective, the backbone of America. These local radio, especially the college basketball guys. Like college football guys are great as well, but there's something about like a niche sport in December when the whole world is focused on the college football playoff. The whole world is focused on the NFL playoff race. Who's going to win the NFL MVP? Who's going to get the final wild card spots? Patrick Mahomes' knee has exploded. This guy doesn't give a fuck about any of that. Jamarcus Lawrence hit a shot to make Nebraska 11-0, and that is the most important thing on planet Earth, as it should be. And I love it. I love it so much. Nothing else matters. And then he just gave up on the call. He just completely, he's just like,
That's what I got.
He hits the shot with 10. Fuck it, I don't know how much time's left. Just the shot. Google it. Just Google it after the guy. I got to go.
we've said it a million times. That is way better than the idea that, don't be a homer, don't play favorites. That's what should be on ESPN. That's what should be on Fox right there.
I agree. Nebraska is 11-0. They've actually won 15 in a row. They won the Crown last year. People forget because people didn't even know. People weren't even aware that was gun to your head. I guess it doesn't. That's not how this works because I just told you about it. Gun to your head 1 minute ago. Would you have remembered that the Crown existed? That the idea, the postseason tournament called the Crown.
I don't know if you just saw, the Crown, brought to you by Fox, will be on Fox. Just sent us all cigars.
Oh, did they?
So yes.
So you're aware of the Crown?
Yes. Would I have known who won? No.
No, you would not have known the Nebraska won, but they did win. So I think they won their last 4 because of the Crown, and now they've won 11 in a row. They have won 15 in a row, longest win streak in the country, I believe. This is a program that has never won an NCAA tournament game. Never won one single game in the NCAA tournament. That includes first 4 games, right? That includes they've never been in Dayton and won a game. They've simply never experienced a win in the NCAA tournament. If they do in fact win an NCAA tournament game, does that matter? Do you think that is do you think that, like, how do I say, like, they're I feel like Indiana football, Rick, has kind of ruined it though, because Indiana football is ranked number 1 and just won the Heisman. They had a player win the Heisman Trophy. That now that, like, in basketball, if Nebraska wins a single NCAA tournament game, it's almost funny. It's almost like a joke. It's almost like we're treating them like children if they do win the game. But at the same time, there's a program that's never won a game. That's what they're on track to do now.
I think it's a huge.
They're on track to. Yeah, they're ranked 23rd. They're certainly going to be better. And I think their schedule was not that great to start the season, but this win at Illinois is huge. Illinois is not a top-tier team, but Illinois is I know the kids use mid as an insult, but they are the definition of, like, the mid-tier. Of, like, you take all the good teams in the country, Illinois is like a level down. And I think winning at Illinois does carry significant weight. So Nebraska's for real in the sense that, like, I do think – this might be the team that breaks the curse.
And it was
might win an NCAA tournament.
It was a huge week for them too. Like you said, they hadn't played anyone necessarily. Oklahoma was their best, win coming out early in the season. They beat Wisconsin 90-60 earlier this week too.
Yeah.
So that's belt to ass on Wisconsin.
Belt to ass.
And then at Illinois, I don't know. We've talked about Illinois as a team. They're not top of the top, but also that's a team that you could see playing deep into March. So.
They also beat BYU. People forget in a scrimmage, which I think we said on the show. Is we only care about scrimmages if it helps enhance our point that we're trying to make. If it undermines how we believe about a team, then you just take that scrimmage, you throw it right in the garbage. But in this case, we're trying to argue that Nebraska is actually very, very good. They beat BYU in a scrimmage. That was televised.
Did you see what will happen if Nebraska does win their a tournament game for the first time? Your boy Rothstein?
I saw this. Yeah, this is huge from John. John Rothstein tweeted, TJ. Who's on the sticks? Cody?
It's Cody today.
Cody, pull up the
play the video.
Play the video of John Rothstein. This is huge. This is
Rothstein, Nebraska.
Season of giving, that we're in right now. John Rothstein
says, on his Twitter, Cody.
Yeah.
That Nebraska plays with in the half court with Rink Mast obviously operating as a face-up 5. And I'm watching the way this team is sharing the ball and shooting the ball and being a team that, again, is embodying everything about balance, but also bringing the defensive side of the floor as well. And I'm thinking what it's going to be like this winter at Pinnacle Bank Arena. And I'm going to go on the record right now. If Nebraska makes the NCAA tournament in 2026 and wins an NCAA tournament game for the first time in school history, I, at some point before the start of the 26-27 season, am going to fly to Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm going to go downtown. I'm going to put my credit card down at a bar for an hour, and I am going to throw a happy hour for Nebraska basketball fans.
Hour.
Because that's what's at stake right now. There is a window for this team, not just to get to the NCAA tournament, but to win a game. Tim Miles got to the NCAA.
That's incredible.
I'm going to fly at some point. Maybe it might be mid-June. It could be July when the kids are when the students aren't there. But at some point in the year, I will fly to Lincoln. I will go downtown. I won't go to campus. Why would I go to campus? No, I'm not going to go to campus. I'm going to go to downtown Lincoln for 1 hour during happy hour from 3 to 4 p.m.
When beers are half off.
He's
on a
expecting the
Tuesday.
red carpet to get rolled out.
On a Tuesday when beers are half off for 1 hour, I'm going to put down my credit card. And I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think Roston's going to announce when he's going to do it, or do you think he's just going to show up at a bar, put his card down, be like, "I did it. None of y'all showed up.
Flew there.
None of y'all were there."
For him to, I actually love that move to hype it up. Like he's like, I want to be on record right now. You can mark my words that at some point I will go to a happy hour where bottles are $2, and I'll pay for drinks for 1 hour.
Can I? I don't want to step on John's toes. I love John Rothstein so much. I very much hate Scoops guys. That became like a part of that. Actually, kind of became what I was known for a little bit, and I had to back off. It was too much. It was too much. I was getting in the mud a little too much with the Scoops guys. But I say that to say I've always made one exception. And it's John Rothstein. I love the man so much. So I don't want to step on what he's doing. I don't want to. He's got his own thing going on, and I think it's huge that he's doing it. But I also feel like maybe his is just the first step, and maybe we can get like a whole army of people behind him. So I would like to, if John wants me to, and John, you can, if John ever sees this clip and declines the offer, that's fine. But I would like it to be known that I am willing to, after John's hour ends, for the next 10 minutes, I will put my card down. Wow. So we can extend this happy hour by about 10 minutes. I will pick up the tab for the remaining 10 minutes. And if someone out there wants to take the next 10 minutes and the next 10 minutes, we could keep this thing going well into the evening. Like I'm talking like 6 p.m. or so. We could get these, get the bill going. You know what I mean? Get the party going downtown.
You
Lincoln
want to split another 10 minutes?
I say we go chips and salsa for the tables.
You'll go chips and salsa for every table.
Every table that is
every
there,
table gets chips and salsa.
Me and White Boy Rick will send them a
I might even
spring.
queso.
I should have been clear, by the way. Mine is only for beer and house wine.
Okay.
Beer and house wine only. So
what about Wells liquor?
No Wells liquor, unfortunately. No, just beer. Any beer will do. Any canned or bottled beer. No draft beer, please. And
Domestic only or
great point, Rick. Okay. Domestic only. Domestic canned or bottled beers and house wine, and that's it. But for 10 minutes. So
in all reality, like Rick, you're closest to college out of all of us. If John Rothstein was coming to your college and was doing a happy hour for 1 hour, is that something that like gets you out of bed and you're like, hey, we got to go to this happy hour? Or I just think that he's like making this. He's making this huge promise when it's like, all right, you can go get 3 beers for free.
But
like me as a sicko, I would be like, yeah, I'll go meet John Rothstein and free drinks. But I don't think that's something we're showing out for.
You could kind of tell that he had this big idea in his head, and as he started talking, he wanted to catch himself, and he's like, I will, fuck it. If Nebraska wins a tournament game, I'm going to Lincoln, and we're gonna have a fucking party. Drinks on me all night for one day at some point, I guess I should say. Also. Yeah, for a happy hour, for 1 hour, he just started at all the qualifiers.
We had one time when I was in college, Cuban picked up a tab. I think it was after a Purdue win, and it just ended up being so packed that I got like one drink.
Yeah.
Of the night. Like that's what happens when they get the bar tab.
And hey, listen, it probably if John announces he's going and kids show up or people show up, whatever, it will be a significant amount of money. I bet it'll be a few $100s. So
the chat keeps saying, "Tell Mark the campus is downtown." I don't know why.
Campus is downtown?
Yeah.
Pull up a map. Campus is downtown.
Tell you, Nebraska fans have been on our ass in the chat and in the replies. Talk about Nebraska ball. Talk about Nebraska ball. They're holding us accountable.
Campus is downtown Lincoln.
Chat. Talk about Nebraska ball. Cody, show him this.
We're
leading off the show.
Is that a Will Compton basketball jersey?
Yeah, it's a Will Compton basketball jersey.
Why do you have that?
Because I was going to put it on Dana's seat today.
Cody, go to Google Maps. All right, zoom out. Whenever you're ready. That's in, but I was thinking more zoom out. I guess I didn't realize Lincoln was that small.
The airport?
Do they got like tall buildings at all?
What do you mean by that?
Like do the fucking do the city view thing. Do like the street view. Go zoom in. Go to Go to where it says Lincoln. Or just zoomers, look around. Like where's the city center? Where do the guys in the suits that are trading stocks and are fucking selling insurance, and they got to go downtown to make a living. Where are they going?
Over here.
That one's got a few.
They're just going to campus. Campus is downtown. I stand corrected.
Wow.
I stand corrected. And you know what? That's on me. And John is doing a big thing, and I apologize.
You played there multiple times in college.
Did not. There was,
Let me teach you
buddy.
something about
Rick, let me just say that I'm from an era when things made sense.
Okay.
When the Big Ten had 11 teams, all right, and we didn't have this nonsense of misnamed conferences. You got the Big 12 with God knows how many teams, the Big 10 with God knows how many teams. Things made sense back then. The Big 10 had 11, and we didn't question it. It just made sense, and the logo had a nice little cheeky, 11 inside the 10. You remember that logo?
I do.
I don't think I do.
You don't know the old school Big Ten logo?
Cody, get it pulled up.
Not off the dome.
Now our conversation earlier started to make sense, Tate. Now our conversation
With it,
started
you
to
could
make sense.
see.
If-
Yeah, no.
No.
You can see within the words. They make an.
What is?
I know the pinwheel, Cody.
What is? What are we? Am I 100 years old? I don't feel that old. I really don't. I feel. But
The first
What-
15 minutes of the show today has made me feel older.
I feel so fucking
Rick
old,
was
dude.
like, show starts at 9.
The first, what are we at? We're at 25 minutes. I have turned into Tim Allen from the Santa Claus. That the moment where his beard just grows out and turns white. That's me. That's me with these kids right now. Cody, figure that out. As you figure that out, I'm going to tell the people about Stella Blue. Stella Blue coffees, new can lattes are here, crafted with 100% Colombian coffee. Each can delivers 190 milligrams of natural caffeine, is a good source of protein, and comes in 2 smooth flavors: espresso cafe mocha and espresso sweet cream. Whether you're braving your morning commute or chasing your pup, Stella Blue cans are for those always on the go and for those who care. Stella Blue is more than just great coffee. It's about giving back. Big Cat named the brand after his rescue dog, Stella, who inspired our mission to help more dogs find their forever homes. Every purchase supports animal rescue organizations. So when you drink Stella Blue, you're not just fueling your day, you're saving a dog's life. Try the new cans today and fuel your holiday season. Taste the difference and make a difference. All new Stella Blue coffee can lattes are now available at StellaBlueCoffee.com. I'm still blown away. Nebraska campus is literally right downtown. I thought it was going to be like an Ohio State situation, Tate, where it's
Breaking news.
That's it right there.
A hidden 11.
You've never seen this logo.
I've never seen that before. That's electric.
I got it.
It's kind of cool.
I'm going to retire.
That's the Big 10.
Folks, I got a new announcement. This might be my last show. I
Retired
have to
mid-show.
retire. I realized in this moment that I am
Who retired mid? Someone retired mid-football game.
with a Bills
Remember
player,
that?
right? That was a Bills guy.
He was
Cody.
like, I'm done.
Antonio Brown.
No,
the
oh
Bills
yeah, Antonio
corner.
Brown
The
did.
Bills corner.
Who
Why
was
am
the
I
Bills
blanking on
guy?
his name?
Who was the Bills guy? Bills fan.
What?
Who was the Bills guy that did it?
You don't remember the corner that
Vontae
retired in the
Davis.
locker room?
Vontae Davis?
Vontae
Was
Bills
he on the
player.
Bills?
2018.
He was
yes.
on the.
Yes.
Yeah, week 2.
Don't yell. Hold on. You don't even know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the thing.
Wow.
I will say that's another perfect example of the age difference. Is like who retired mid-game. You're like Bills player, and they're like Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
When he took
I
his
said
shirt.
Bills.
Yeah.
Don't
You said
loop me
before-
in with
yeah.
that
You
right
said
now.
before-
All right. We have shout out Nebraska, by the way. I in all seriousness, if John goes to campus, that will be cool. I was poking fun at him a little bit. It'll be cool. I'll go. Fuck it. I'll go.
I'll drink.
I'll go. You know what? If it works out for my schedule, I will go to Lincoln with John and I will drink and I'll go. And I'll put my car down for 10 minutes. So yeah. Shout out to Nebraska. Big win over the weekend, winning at Illinois.
We got to get back into the big dogs then, because the two teams that we left last show talking about, Arizona and Michigan, and we were debating who was going to be the number one team.
Yeah.
People. Arizona was the number one team. This week they added to their resume that now has wins over UConn, Bama, Florida, Auburn, and UCLA.
And only one of those, I believe, was at home, Auburn. I think they played Auburn at home. Every other game was either a true road game or pretty much. Well, I guess Florida and Vegas is not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true neutral game. But UCLA was in L.A., I believe. UConn was at UConn, and Bama was that was in Birmingham, right?
Yeah.
That was one of those like
Yep.
fake neutral type games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, incredible resume. I think their resume is better than Michigan. I think the argument for Michigan is the margin of victory in the eye test and the efficiency numbers, which like it has to do with the margin of victory. Obviously, like all your Ken Palms of the world love Michigan, and rightfully so. But I do think, last week we were talking about the number one teams and who should be number one and who's in contention. I still think it's 4 teams. I think if it's not Iowa State, Duke, Michigan, or Arizona, if you're one of the AP voters and you don't vote for one of those people, you're a bozo. You should lose your vote. It should be one of those 4. Those are really the only options right now. I guess UConn fans might be like, now hang on a second, we haven't been fully healthy. What about us? But even UConn fans have to understand how the game is played. And you lost to Arizona. That's the way it goes. You can't argue right now that you should be number one, but we'll see. But having said that, Tate, even though it's like a 4-horse race, I do think Arizona and Michigan are the 2 that they haven't separated themselves from Iowa State and Duke, but I think those are the 2 that have like the realistic cases to me. I think those are the 2 that like time and time again. This isn't like a not that Iowa State and Duke are flukes, but like I walk away from every game Michigan and Arizona play, and I'm just like they just feel a little different to me. And I've talked about some of the holes I poked in Duke's situation. I still think Duke is unreal, and Duke going on the road in East Lansing and winning in that environment is impressive. Duke's resume is not bad, by the way. Duke's beaten Florida. They've beaten they won at Michigan State. Give me some other ones. They've played a handful of big games. They opened with Texas, who's not that good, but the first game of the season with a freshman team playing Texas.
Kansas, Texas,
Kansas,
Arkansas,
that's right.
Florida,
Kansas is
Michigan
Champions
State.
Classic. Arkansas as well. Duke's got a really good resume. But yeah, I think it's Arizona and Michigan right now. And I think Arizona has the better resume. The case for Arizona is I think their 5 wins are it's like there will be maybe
first team in AP poll history to beat 5 ranked teams in its first 9 games.
It's crazy. There will be like 10 teams maybe at the end of the year that have this many ranked wins.
And they've
at the end of the year, and they've done it in the first 6 weeks.
It's been interesting because if you guys remember our first show, it was like, hey, Pete, freshman, it was Braden Burry's freshman had 28 points the other day against Alabama.
He's figuring it out. He was the guy coming into the year that my network of scouts, my boots on the ground people, my people that I have do the work for me so I don't have to work. Those people that I'm like, you tell me how to feel about this team so I don't have to form my own opinions. They were like, you got it. This Burry's kid at Arizona is going to be nice. He's going to be really. I think that the NBA draft people were really high on him. And early in the season, it was Pete. Pete was stealing all the headlines. Jaden Bradley is obviously awesome, and Arizona has a really, really deep team. And I think Burry's was just trying to figure out how he fit in. He has been playing really, really well, and this is a dream scenario for Arizona because Koa Pete is not bad. Koa Pete is just fine playing team basketball. You know what I mean? Like Koa Pete, what did he finish with against Bama? I don't know if like that spurt they had was unreal, and maybe Koa Pete by the end of the game, I turned it off after.
He only had 6 points.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember there was a time where I was like, I don't even notice Koa Pete out here, but it's not because he's playing poorly. It's that they don't need him. And when you're a team that's so good that you don't even need Koa Pete,
I think that's what makes them scary. Is there's so many different ways they can beat you.
You can go on the road.
Can beat you. Burries can beat you. Koa Pete can beat you from the paint.
They beat Alabama in Alabama. I know it wasn't in Tuscaloosa, but it was effectively a road game. They beat Alabama by 21, and Koa Pete might as well not even played, which is overstating it a little bit. Obviously, he does stuff other than score, but yeah, that's terrifying. That makes Arizona absolutely terrifying.
And they were down 2 at the half, folks. That second half was 57-34. I think it's interesting. We talked about at the beginning of the year, like best conference in the country. Is it the SEC? Is it the SEC? Right now, Arizona has wins over Florida, Auburn, and Alabama. The SEC is I wouldn't say they're down. They're down this year.
SEC's down. I mean, especially compared to last year. But I think they'll get a lot of teams to the tournament. I think they have a lot of teams that I actually feel like this might work in the SEC's favor. That they'll get a bunch of teams seeded 3 through 10, like they don't get any top seeds, no 1s or 2s.
So when a 5 seed makes a run,
and then like a 5 seed will make a run, and then everyone will be like, I thought you said the SEC sucked. Yeah, if we suck so much, why do we have 4 teams in the Sweet 16? And it'll be one of those deals.
Let's talk about the SEC though. On the other side of that game, so Alabama, they were leading at the half against this Arizona team, but Alabama, Rick, you texted the group chat afterwards and you said, "Don't tell Bosco." So we won't.
I'm a rider.
100%. I think we all
Nate
are.
Oates is a friend of the program.
We all are. But
Yes.
but what you said is something that I know Mark's talked about over the years as well. You don't think this Alabama team is built to win 6 straight games in the tournament. Why'd you say that?
Yeah, so I just think with when you're so reliant on the threes as they are, there's a lot of variance. And Titus, you brought it up. It's a single elimination tournament. You got to win 6 straight games in March. And I think the great teams are the ones that when the threes aren't falling, they can figure out another way to get it done. They either can step it up defensively. They can get to the mid-range. They can get to the paint. Bama, if the threes don't fall, they just shrug their shoulders. They say, oh, well, our algorithm tells us they're going to start falling, so we're going to keep shooting them. This game on paper, I think they shot like 12 for 32 from 3. Not bad. But listen to this stretch. So they hit a 3 to go up 37-30. Mm-hmm. After that, Amari Allen, missed 3-point jumper. Phylon, missed 3-point jumper. Wrightsell, missed 3-point jumper. Mm-hmm. Bethia, missed 3-point jumper. All of a sudden, we're down. Mm-hmm. And then they came out of the second half. They missed, I think, their first 4 threes coming out of the second half. And then after that, Arizona just poured it on.
Yeah.
I don't, like, the analytics love the way they play basketball, but who gives a fuck about analytics?
Because the analytics take it over.
Under 8 timeout in March, and you got to get a bucket.
Right. The analytics take it over the course of the season, and there's ebbs and flows. And when you
relies on sample size.
Right, but in one specific game, that's what I've said about Bama forever. Is that when Bama is hitting threes, they are unstoppable. They're unbeatable. They look like the best team in the country. And not just this Bama team. Any iteration of these Nate Oates Bama teams has looked like that. That is the fear. And also with this team, they don't guard as well as you want them to. Like I think that's part of the algorithm that's supposed to be factored in. That just I think in an ideal situation, Nate Oates will tell you, like, we play great defense. We have length on defense. We have guys that are fucking dogs on defense. We rebound the ball, and then on offense, yeah, we do shoot a lot of threes, but it's like analytically driven. They don't play nasty defense. You know, like they are just kind of chucking threes right now, and when they're making them, they look good. When they're missing them, they don't. And against Arizona, they miss them, and then they don't get any stops, and it snowballs. And before you know it, you're just like, you're supposed to be a good team, and you're down 20. This is crazy. That's always the fear with Bama. That's, it is funny though that the Bama team, Nate Oates' Bama team that made the Final Four was, if memory serves, it was like one of the worst defensive teams he's had. Yeah. They just had like a great run of hitting threes, but at some point, and then they get to the Final Four, and they get shut down by UConn, which like UConn was obviously better than everybody. But I have my doubts. I have my doubts every year with Bama. I think Bama can beat anybody on any given night. I think they are a terrifying matchup. I would not want to play Bama in the NCAA tournament because just as much as we point out that like things can go wrong for Bama, you could be a 1 seed going up against like a 5 seed Bama, say, in the Sweet 16, and they just get hot. And
they could get hot for 6 games,
and there's not a day.
Like idiots.
They could beat you by 25. Yeah. No matter how good you are. But can they sustain that for 6 games? I don't know.
Yeah, and they've played three top tier teams so far this year in Purdue, Gonzaga, and Arizona, and they've lost all of them.
Yeah.
So that kind of, they would have to win at least 3 or 4 of those in a row to win a national championship.
But they beat Illinois in the United Center. And I feel like that's only – I know Illinois – I made this point about Illinois not too long ago that they always lose the marquee game. They did beat Tennessee. I will acknowledge that Illinois is not bad. I still believe that Illinois has defensive problems, and they're kind of similar to Bama in that they just seem to like want to put 5 guys on the floor that can shoot threes, and they don't really want to guard. They just want to like show off their versatility, except they don't really have versatility. They just shoot threes, but Illinois might be a little soft is what I'm saying, but I do like them. I like the roster, and I think they have like 7 guys that can score 20 points, which is crazy. But I do feel like Illinois is positioning themselves to just be everyone's big win all season. Cody, Illinois is going to be like the team that like everybody beats and is like that was a huge win for us. But they have like 12 losses on the year.
Cody, pull up Brad Underwood talking about the game the other day. Did you guys see the Bob Knight quote?
Yeah.
If we're talking Illinois, yeah. Oh, here it is. What do you guys think about this?
And, I mean, David was in Serbia. I mean, he wasn't in this building.
He's been so good. What was not working for him today?
That's a question for him. I got to figure out. I mean, he's to be very honest, 2 really bad practices. When David's focused and competing and flying around in practice, he's elite. And 3 turnovers. I mean, couldn't play him. Couldn't put him in the game. And, that's, what's the old Bob Knight quote? Ask to bench, bench DeBrain. I need to practice better. Whatever.
That gets some
something
smiles out of
to
Indiana.
that extent.
Yeah.
You need to figure
But,
that
so
out.
I think he sees what you're saying. I mean, you're saying sometimes they're soft. Sometimes my favorite part about that is the guy's not from Serbia. Like
He's
guy,
not.
I have my
Hold
understanding-
up.
I think
Hold
he's
up.
got
Guy,
people. I
So
think
many
Yeah,
Europeans
he's
on
got
the
all
roster. He's
European.
mixing up what country they're from.
Hold up. Hold up. You got that wrong.
I believe so.
No way.
Pull it up.
It's from
Just like to
Montenegro.
say again, I am a rider, and I am rooting for Bama. Just want to.
Yeah, he's
Very
from
clear on
Montenegro,
that.
it says.
Yeah, I love that.
Which close enough, I guess.
But
if you bet Underwood,
he's trying to fire the
I think
boys
they
up.
would.
But yeah, Illinois. I think we're all same thing as last year. We're always excited about Illinois and like, hey, they're talented, but then they don't win the big.
Yeah, will
game.
they ever reach their full potential? Can I I don't know if this is on your flow show plan, but I wanted to acknowledge because I just keep staring at it. The top of the top bullet point, UConn beats Florida here on the prep sheet. I think I'm coming around on Florida. They keep losing, which is a
Zion
problem.
Lee, I think
They keep
figured something
losing,
out.
which is a problem. What is their record now? 6-4, 7-4, or something? 7-5. At some point, they have to
6
win.
and 4.
They're 6-4. At some point, they're going to have to win games. But Zion Lee is playing a little bit better. Thomas Houck is legitimately one of the best players in the country. He's unbelievable. The front court is very, very good. The guards are a problem, and I think they bit off more than they could chew with the schedule. I think they won the national championship. They had high hopes for this team. I think this team can still be good. I think they just needed more time to figure it out, and the schedule is brutal. And they're losing on every important game they play, but they're not losing by much. They're playing better. And again, at some point, you have to win these games. I'm not going to, pat you on the head and say you're a good boy for losing over and over and over. At some point, this is high-level basketball. You got to win. But I think they're playing better than most people realize. I think
They're
Florida
6-4 and they're 13th in KenPom.
Yeah, I think they opened the season. That was, I mean, at the time, I felt like it was pretty embarrassing that Florida had what I believe to be the best front court in the country coming into the season, and you let a freshman dominate you like that and Co-Pete. A freshman big man had 30 or whatever it is he had. I thought that was a little bit of an embarrassing start for Florida. They haven't really had rip through their wins.
Yeah, I mean,
what's their best win?
They don't have any good wins.
They don't have any good wins.
Their best wins, Miami, Florida.
So yeah, again, at some point they're gonna have to flip the switch and win some of these games. But I was very quick to take Florida and be like, oh, they are not good. They're just not going to be a good team. And every time I watch them, like the UConn game is a great example. The Duke game at Duke, they came close. Got to win these games. At some point, you got to win them. But Florida is playing better than I think I would have thought they would be at this point.
Or that their record may say.
Or that their record may say.
Those teams that you just named, I mean, those are all neutral games or away games. They lost Arizona by 6, Duke by 1, and UConn by 4.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the rest of their non-count? I guess I could look it up myself. I don't. But
St. Francis, Colgate, Dartmouth.
But that's good. They can start stringing out together some wins before they hit the.
And then they get into SEC play.
Then they get in SEC.
Yeah, they're going to
play.
win.
We got to
their next
figure it out. And the SEC is completely wide open. I mean, the SEC is. I think there are good teams.
I mean, Vanderbilt's undefeated. Everyone else has.
I don't think the SEC
4 or
is.
5
I don't think the SEC is bad at all. I think the SEC just doesn't have like the top end Auburn type team from last year, or Florida that won the national championship, obviously. But at this point last year, we were pointing to Auburn, and we are like, oh, that's probably the best team in the country.
SEC.
Yeah. They don't really have teams like that, but I still think the SEC is very, very good.
All right, we got to talk about another national title contender, Michigan. 2 more dominant wins this week. They had a similar situation like Arizona where they were down, and then they absolutely dominated the second half. Yaxel had 29, 9, and 7.
Good. He's so good. He's so fun to watch. He's so good defensively. He does everything on the court. Every time he gets on a basketball court, he does everything you could possibly do in a basketball game.
He's had that twice this year.
He's incredible to watch. He's so fun to watch.
By every metric possible, like KenPom, DraftKings, whatever you want to say, Michigan is your best team in the country. They are the head and shoulder favorites to win the national title. They're more than 2 times likely, odds wise than Arizona. Why do you agree with that, Mark?
They're more than 2 times. I think the odds. So what I can't make sense of is Michigan is a heavy favorite to win the national championship, which I don't necessarily disagree with, because I do think the margin of victory is is doing the heavy lifting, I guess, for the case for Michigan, which, in some ways that does tell us a lot. In other ways, like it doesn't matter that much if you win by 20 or by 40. If you're a Michigan fan, you're like, yeah, I mean, it's a much bigger ass kicking. Sometimes I feel like teams just quit. They're like, we're down by a lot. We're not going to win. Fuck it. And then it really piles on. But what I can't understand, I'm fine with Michigan being a heavy favorite national championship. Why, if Michigan is such a heavy favorite to win the national championship and the odds makers believe that Michigan is the best team in the country, Yaxel Lindeborg does everything there is to do on a basketball court, is a stat sheet stuffer, plays phenomenal defense, anchors. He's not the anchor, I guess. Mara is probably more of the anchor, but he's one of the anchors of the best defense in the country. Why is he not? Why are the odds for National Player of the Year? I think Boozer has negative odds, doesn't he? Isn't he minus odds?
Yeah, he's minus 155.
He's minus 155.
What do you think Yaxel is?
I don't know how those two things make sense. What is Yaxel?
Yaxel. So to start it off with the teams, Michigan's plus 475.
Okay.
That's the only team in those triple digits. Arizona, UConn, and Duke are all plus 1,000 or greater. So you're telling me that Michigan is that?
So the odds makers are saying Michigan is that there is a gap at a time where we're like, if there's a top 4 maybe, and maybe UConn's in that with maybe there's a top 5. Whatever. We're trying to figure out where to draw the line. The odds makers are saying draw the line after one team. It's Michigan, line drawn, and then the next group.
But on the flip side, which listeners I think you're going to want to pay attention to, Boozer's minus 155. Next up would be Braden Smith 9-1, and then Yaxel is 950. Plus,
I don't get that. So I think Boozer should be the favorite. I think Boozer. But I think Yaxel has a better shot.
I feel like you could win that argument very quickly, which is, hey, if they're both undefeated right now, they're both, national title. If Michigan is the best team in the country and Yaxel is the best player on the best team, it's one thing to say, well, Boozer fills the stat sheet up and he does it. So does Yaxel.
Yeah, Boozer has better numbers, and I think he's a better player, and ultimately that'll probably be the difference. And I do think Boozer is going to win. I think he should win so far. A lot of basketball left to be played. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what happens if Boozer pulls his hamstring and all of a sudden you start doing the Darren Peterson thing with him? I'm not saying he's going to sit out, but then all of a sudden they're like, let's be really slow in bringing him back. I don't know. There's so many things that could still happen. That I think that's crazy. Yaxel,
the odds are crazy.
And also, he's a better defender, Yaxel. But that never seems to matter. That never seems to factor in. I wish that factored in more. Because when you watch him play defense, you're like, yeah, this guy's shutting dudes down.
Well, that was your take on Cooper last year too. Cooper Flagg was impacting the game more than he was never going to.
Janai Broome was good defensively, but Cooper Flagg was guarding 1 through 5 and just shutting dudes down. That was my argument for him.
If I was to bet on something right now, obviously you're not going to take minus odds with Boozer, but he's still a freshman that is about to have to play in his first ACC conference season. Yaxel's a senior. I would say that it's more than likely than not that if someone's going to hit a lull throughout the year, it'd be the 18-year-old kid.
Sure, but I mean Boozer's start has been historic. Mm-hmm. He has been. It's tough. I don't know. Braden Smith is also an interesting one because we're talking about Yaxel and Boozer, and you're saying Yaxel's third on the odds.
Crazy.
Braden Smith's still there. They just really want Braden Smith to win. People, the college basketball media machine just badly wants Braden Smith to be the National Player of the Year.
It's an astroturfing campaign.
All right.
I love Braden Smith so much. I do. I really, really like the guy. I have. It's a personal policy of mine to ride for Indiana Mr. Basketball. So I will always sing Braden Smith's praises. But I don't think we need to force it that much. Mm-hmm. Just kind of let it happen. Let it. Right. I don't. Rick's not going to argue with me, but
no disagreements over here, Mark.
Yeah.
Rick, let's go to you. Guys, we only have 10 minutes left.
I know.
So, Rick, do you have some mid-majors for us to look at?
I do.
We promised you guys that we'd look into some mid-majors. Obviously, Dana's not here to do his check-in on teams you need to hear about. So, Rick is going to give you guys an update on some teams that you're going to see in March.
All right. I got 2 from the Mountain West, and I got 1 from the MAC. By the way, stacked year for the Mountain West Conference. If you're a Mountain West enjoyer, this is the year for you. First and foremost, we're going to talk about, in the theme here, the theme with all of these 3 teams, experience guard play. First and foremost, Utah State. Ready for this? Mason Fazlev, I probably butchered the name there, and Drake Allen.
Okay.
2 starting guards, both from Utah. They're number 1 and number 2 in the conference in steals. Both upperclassmen, both engaged to their longtime girlfriends.
Wow.
That's experience. That's
Wow.
maturity. That's a recipe that can win you games in March. They, as a team, they average over 11 steals per game. That's the next closest in the Mountain West, has 8 steals per game. Number 40 on KenPom, and let me tell you about MJ Collins. Transfer from Vanderbilt, only started 1 game last year. Last year averaged 7 points per game, 29% from 3. This year, averaging 19 points per game and shooting 49% from 3.
Wow.
Doubled that. Their 6 leading scorers are all upperclassmen, and not these 6-year guys that are sticking around too long. These are true 3rd and 4th year juniors and seniors.
I like
All right.
what I'm hearing from
I
Rick
like
about
that.
this.
Utah State. Mountain West is Utah State. Are they the favorite?
Yes.
Plus
And then
220.
it's what, San Diego State?
Boise.
Or no, Boise. That's right, Boise.
The next
Boise's,
team we're going to talk about.
Okay, talk about Boise then.
So, unless you're someone who follows college basketball like religiously, I think the only thing you've heard from Boise State this year, lost to a D2 from Hawaii.
That's right.
Maybe you flipped on Maui. And
Was
you
that
saw
the
them.
first game of the year?
Yes.
Their first game of the season.
year.
They lost to D2.
Maybe you flipped on Maui. If you did, you saw them lose to USC and NC State. However, since that point, they've gone to Hinkle. They've beaten Butler by 9. And just yesterday, they beat St. Mary's, who's number 32 on KenPom right now. 2 quality wins since these 3 losses. And by the way, the USC, they were leading them late. NC State, they had a lead going into like the under 12 timeout. They're not going to get the at-large bid just because of what the resume looks like. They got to win the conference, but they're a team that can make
But
it.
maybe take them out of the garbage and run them under the faucet, you know?
Maybe.
Maybe we threw
They
put a
got
little
a
soap
senior
on 'em.
guard, Dylan Andrews. He's a transfer from UCLA. Freshman year there, played in 36 games. Sophomore year, started 32. Junior year, started 29. Ton of experience there. And then they got Drew Fielder, who's a transfer from Georgetown. He's born and raised in Idaho, so hometown kid coming back. He's their leading scorer.
All right.
You said you had a MAC team for us too?
I do.
It
And
better,
Tate,
it better be one
Tate,
damn MAC team.
give me
there
one
out there.
guess who it's going to be.
It better be the Akron Zips.
It's the Akron Zips, number 15 in the country in offensive rating on KenPom,
Woo!
averaging
Let's go.
96 points per game.
Push and pace.
3 senior guards, all in double-digit scoring. Tavari Johnson spent his whole career there, all 4 years. He's taken a big leap this year from 13 points per game to 19 points per game. They got Scott. He's a senior. He's been there 3 years. And then they got the Buckeye transfer.
Evan Mahaffey.
Mahaffey.
Yep.
Oh, Mahaffey's there?
Oh yeah.
didn't
Listen,
know
this
that.
Akron team's legit. We watch him in the
Dude,
tournament. last
Mahaffey,
year.
he's probably good at the MAC level.
Yeah, he's averaging.
Like defensively and the
Oh, yeah.
the length he's got.
Yeah, he's a good
I
player.
can see him
he's a senior.
being yeah, I mean, he's not scoring a lot, right? Surely.
I
But
can't find where it's at. But I'll say this about him. They also lost their best player last year after the tournament. They all said, hey, we signed our NIL deals. We're coming back. Nate Johnson was the MAC player of the year. He went to Kansas State. He's having a good year. But this Akron team is really good, and they lost their best player. This Akron team could have been a really, really good mid-major team.
How about that? All right. Keep an eye on Akron.
Coach John Gross.
I played for him. He was a Ohio
played
State
for John
student. I played for John Gross, yeah. I got stories about him. We don't have
Good.
time to tell them right now. Jake versus Joshua Judgment Day, a colossal global showdown between boxing's biggest disruptor, international superstar, and WBA number 14 ranked cruiserweight Jake El Gallo de Dorado Paul and 2-time unified WBO, WBA, and IBF heavyweight world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and knockout machine Anthony A.J. Joshua. The matchup unites Paul, the sport's most watched fighter whose showmanship has redefined modern boxing and shattered records at every turn, with Joshua, one of boxing's most accomplished, respected, and feared punchers, a global icon who twice unified the heavyweight division and has headlined sold-out stadiums across the UK and beyond. Jake Paul faces the most dangerous and defining fight of his career against Britain's 2-time unified heavyweight world champion and Olympic gold medalist Anthony Joshua in a professional heavyweight mega fight scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds with 10-ounce gloves. Watch Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Netflix. Live on Netflix. I had something I want to throw at you, Rick. Did you watch IU Kentucky?
I did.
Surely you did.
Um,
how could you not if you're a Hoosiers fan?
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, Dickie V on the call.
Unbelievable. It was everything I wanted it to be and more.
Look at that. Kissing the bald head. This shit means was that you?
That's a Rick.
That's a Rick special.
Rick special.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm glad they did that.
Like there was one 5-minute span where like they did a rant on NIL, then they did a rant on COVID, then
Yeah.
they did a rant on eligibility, and then they were talking about how would Christian Laettner fare in the NBA today.
Yeah.
Duke wasn't playing in the basketball game. Not sure how he came up. It was beautiful.
But it doesn't matter. I feel like most people don't feel this way, but I generally like the old heads podcasting during basketball games. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. People,
a few guys that can get away with it.
I love Bill Walton. He's my favorite commentator ever. I fucking loved him. I love his stream of consciousness. And people would lose their minds and just be like, talk about the game, Bill. Please. I never had a problem. I even like when Dickie V goes on the tangents. Even Dickie V finding ways to talk about Duke when he's calling like a Kansas versus Houston game is incredible.
And Charles Barkley, I had a tweet about this that did numbers. Charles Barkley, he will watch zero film before the game. He'll do zero prep. He'll go in knowing no player's name. Give him 5 minutes, he'll know everything about your team. He'll break it down. He'll be more knowledgeable about your team than you are.
It's the ultimate earn your stripes situation, too, because as you're talking about, these old heads that go on these rants, they're incredible. If a young guy came in that you didn't know did that, you'd say, get him off the airwaves.
Yeah.
But listening to Dickie V talk about anything is incredible.
This is so funny.
Dickie V, they never should have fired Crane. Chuck, my golf ball is now inside an alligator's mouth. I'm staring at this gator like, hold on, man. That's a Pro V1. I look at my buddies and say, what's the rule in here? I just got robbed. Dave O'Brien. Loose ball foul on Chandler. I'm sad that I'm glad IU and Kentucky are playing again. I'm sad that the game had no juice.
Just leave it at.
I'm sad the game had just no juice.
We don't got to talk about the game.
IU's not good, dude.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Which
I don't even care that IU lost. I just like watching that game. I was like, man, growing up, I thought Indiana and Kentucky were bigger. I thought Kentucky was Indiana's biggest rival, and vice versa.
It's
like those were
one of
huge
those
games.
Like consequences of NIL in the transfer portal and not recruiting Indiana kids is nobody on Indiana gave a fuck about that game. The effort did not meet what the rivalry is.
Yeah.
Well said.
How many times was Tucker DeVries wide open and Charles Barkley said you can't leave him open, and then he missed a three? I feel like
turns out you can't.
I feel like 6. I feel like 6 times I was watching that game and they're like, "Oh no, you can't leave him open."
Yeah,
that's good. And then he just break it. It was so funny.
It's tough. It's just a wash of a year, and it's tough because Lamar Wilkerson is such a fun player. I think Tucker DeVries can be a fun player. If we had just one good one guy who could like set screens, who could roll, who could command some attention in the paint, we might be a good team, but we don't, and we're not that. Yeah. So Kentucky's going to bully us on the glass. Everyone else is going to bully us on the glass, and that's that.
Let me jump in here real quick, talk about Mr. Pibb before we get out here. Mr. Pibb is back and bolder than ever. Mr. Pibb delivers a bold kick of cherry, an intense sweet cherry flavor with hints of caramel and a lingering spicy finish. It's sweet with a bite, made for those who want more personality in their soda. Mr. Pibb is back with a bold kick of cherry and now with 35% more caffeine. Sweet cherry up front, spicy fizz on the follow. Mr. Pibb available at a store near you. All right. Did you guys you got anything mostly wise? Did you guys see the Baylor girls game?
Yeah, I love it. I do love it. I can't. I won't lie. I do love it.
I thought I would hate it, but
yeah. I as far as like trends for junior high kids go, this one is extremely funny to me. I don't mind it one bit.
First one is good.
I mean, they all know what's going on. Like she has to make this last free throw or this.
Here we go.
Look at the coaches laughing. Look at the. Is it just like field trip day at every women's basketball game? Is that just?
I think they do a lot of like kids'
like
days,
night?
camp days.
Hey, remember when we went to one of those games?
Well, we went to the Chicago. What game? UIC.
Yeah, it was UIC.
Sat
it was
courtside.
like an 11 a.m.
They put us on the Jumbotron. They said Barstool Chicago's me, white.
Was there a 6-7 there, or what was the thing they went crazy for that game?
I don't recall.
I had a few things I want to rip off quickly. Loyola Chicago lost Chicago State yesterday.
Your boys.
By it was not close. I mean, kind of close. I mean, it wasn't like a miracle last second shot. It was like Chicago State just straight up beat them. That's unbelievable.
That's bad.
Loyola Chicago, the fall. It's Sister Jean dying, right? That's what happened.
I didn't want to see this shit.
Loyola is literally one of the worst teams in Division I this year. I don't mean like I think they're in like the 300s on KenPom. Crazy. They were in the 5 years ago, I guess.
They are in the 300s.
5 years ago, they beat a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. 5 years in 2021, they beat 1 seed Illinois in the NCAA tournament. That was 5 years ago. Now they're in the 300s on KenPom. Absolutely insane. Speaking of teams that suck, Syracuse might suck, Cody.
Yeah.
Syracuse might suck.
Very bad.
I was excited about Syracuse. I was watching the players error, and I was like, oh my god, if they could just make free throws, they might be all right. No, they're not. They're just
dead
not.
last.
Yeah, they're just not good.
Percentage for free throws.
But they also still don't make free throws. What else was I gonna say? I thought I had one more thing. I don't know what it is. But it is. I do want to say this. We are officially going to 2 a week starting the first week of January. We're gonna start I was gonna do it right after Thanksgiving, but I didn't want to go 2 a week and then take a couple weeks off for the holiday break. So that's why we've been doing 1 a week. Starting the first week of January, we come back. We're gonna take 2 weeks off, as I think the whole company is basically. There will be a lot of stuff we'll put on the Mostly Sports channel.
Yep.
You know, like there will hopefully there's enough content out there over the break for everybody. But this particular show, Mostly Hoops, we won't be back for a couple weeks. For 3 weeks, I guess, technically, right?
We'll be back January 5th and January 9th.
Yeah, we're back January 5th, but then when we come back the week of January 5th, we're going to 2 a week. We're going to go on Fridays. We're going to go Monday morning, Friday morning. So that way the stuff that happens throughout the week, we don't lose, by all the action on the weekend. So that's the plan. We are officially going 2 a week starting in January. And, hopefully things go a little smoother. Hopefully we learn some lessons.
That was good.
Cody, you good?
Yeah, I'm loving where we're at.
All right.
Well, thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for those who listen, who watch. Anything else, Rick? You got anything else you want to say?
I will be here at 8:45 next week.
Well, we're not doing a
Not
show
here
next
next
week. So
In 3 weeks.
All right, I'm gonna take some time over the holiday. I'm gonna digest.
review the film.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get in the film room.
Yeah. All right.
We got Louisville,
That's it.
Tennessee, St. John's, Kentucky, Houston, Arkansas, Auburn, Purdue, and then Texas Tech, Duke this week. And we'll talk to you about them in a couple weeks.
Shout out Bruce Thornton for saving our season.
We're back.
We
We might maybe be a tournament team.
that would have ruined my life if he did not hit that shot. All right. See you guys.